Different installs, short yardage, got some situations that we reviewed. These guys are off tomorrow, and then they'll come back tomorrow night, and we'll start on Jacksonville.
Sean, when you look at different personalities, where would you rank all the players you coach? Like DeMario Davis, is he similar to Jonathan Vilma or different? Or?
Listen, that's a good question. I only haven't been not even into a full season. I know this, though. He's provided good leadership. He's athletic. You feel his presence on the field, both as a player, but also vocally. And I would say the teammates have embraced him in such a way. He's done a really good job there. So that's been something you've seen just through these practices, and I'm sure some of that will develop as we get into the preseason games and the regular season.
Sean, how's the competition been between, I guess, Tom Savage and Taysom, and what are you hoping to see out of those guys?
They're two different type players, but ultimately you want to see the offense move the ball. Both of them are picking up things. Of course, Taysom's in his second year. Tom is someone who's played and is more of has had more experience, but both of them are going to get a lot of work in this preseason. Both of them are doing well. So ultimately, it's how the team moves with them in there and putting us in positions to score.
Sean, how do you feel like Alvin handled all the hype and he's in the Drake video? How's he handled all the stuff?
I think look, he's handled all of that stuff well. I haven't seen the video yet. I heard it was pretty good. But he's a smart guy, super smart, and so there can be X amount of noise away from the building, but I think he's real level-headed, and to some degree has been around that before with family members that are in the business, whether it's entertainment, and I think he handles all of that real well.
What are some of your goals for Thursday?
Well, look, you want to see young guys improve. You want to see the personnel and the substitutions, all of that to be clean. You want to see guys take the technique that we've been working in practice and take it to the field. And so I would say the technique, alignment, assignment, and then playing with the game speed that you need to play with. All of those things in the kicking game. You want to see the assignments executed. You want to see guys fit where they're supposed to. See how the returners, work. And overall, it's all the fundamentals that you're hoping that you come away from the game feeling like you tackled well, you blocked well, and you limit the MEs.
Preseason games especially important for those guys competing for the backup running back job? Right?
Sure it is. Yeah, this is important for a lot of players, not just one position. You're wanting to put your best foot forward and play well. And the good news is you have 4 of these opportunities. Obviously, the practice factors in. That's equally important. But I think the players understand that, and it's our jobs. It's our job as coaches really to put them in those positions and hopefully give them those opportunities where they're not having to think or making mental errors. The hardest thing in a preseason game, if the player doesn't know what to do, then it's hard to properly evaluate them because the assignment's missed. And so it starts with what to do and then how to do it.
Sean, you guys have so many offensive linemen that can play different positions, but Max Unger in particular at center, how much of a steadying force is he for that whole offensive line group?
He's been real important. When you have a center with his experience, there's a lot we do with protections. There's a lot we do with calls at the line of scrimmage, and he's a quick thinker. He's athletic, and I think that it's important to what we want to do offensively.
Sean, as far as playing time, how do you evaluate someone like Jay Bromley, George Johnson versus the young first year, rookie?
I think you always take into account, what units are in there, and yet throughout, when the season opens in the regular season, you're going to have a 9-year vet playing against a first-year rookie, and and all of that's out the window. You know, you're still 11 on 11, doing your job, your assignment, and the same thing would apply as we start playing in these preseason games. Obviously, there's the challenge when you get later in the game, maybe when one player, a quarterback for instance, is relying on the protection, and if there's a breakdown, sometimes the evaluation can become more difficult. But we'll go through the roles and have that all laid out tomorrow and understand what we're looking for from a number count for these players. And it'll be, you know, pretty thorough in regards to what group isn't playing, whether it's because of injury or just not playing them. And then here's our first wave, second wave, third wave, and make sure we're keeping track of that during the game.
So looking at Al Muhammad, he made the active roster, had 4 sacks in the preseason. Y'all maybe give him opportunities to see, okay, let's see if he can beat this tackle.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of thing is discussed, you know, trying to get certain players up in the rotation maybe a little earlier. I think that's important.
So you guys hadn't had a lot of contact going to the ground in this camp. Are you looking forward to seeing how some of these younger guys kind of handle it?
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to, you get a chance to really see the final product with tackling, and obviously, you know, we'll have drills past this game where we'll be in a full mode, but we haven't scrimmaged per se, and this will be a good test.
I know you want to keep them both humble, but can you remember any rookies that, you know, in your past that had as good of seasons as Marshawn and Alvin last year?
Well, look, it's unusual to have 2 on the same team in a draft class. I mean, we went back a long time. Fortunately, they're on our team, and I think both of them, you know, see areas that they want to improve. They're both guys that understand how tough it is in this league to have success, and it's, you know, I think their competitive nature draws them to wanting to improve, and you know, so far both of those guys have been working hard and doing well. I'd rather have that problem though than the latter where you're trying to build them up. I mean, both of those guys are competitive players, and they're both, you know, smart players.
I know Alvin maybe a better runner than you expected. With Marshawn, how did his play compare to the expectations?
Well, listen, the one thing with Marshawn is you saw all the traits. The only concern was he just was unavailable for a lot of snaps because of injury. But man, knock on wood, he stayed healthy last year. The early part of rookie camp, you know, we backed off some of his reps, but he proved to be real durable and you know, played in all those games.
When you played so well as a rookie, how do you as a coach determine like what the upward trajectory should be for those guys?
Well, look, you're looking at mistake patterns. You're looking at things maybe that took place last year, cut-up wise, technique wise that you want to correct. So we'll do that, and I think that, you know, both of those guys have had good camps. So I expect that they carry it onto the field again.
At this point, the other day, how Mike Thomas only has 1 speed. When a guy's wired that way, you think that kind of contributes to what we see out there on Sundays?
Well, for him, yeah. I mean, look, guys prepare differently, but you do have to compete. Generally, if a guy has a good week of practice, that carries over to the field. It's hard to not compete during the week and not have a good foundation put in before you play a game. So our job is to try and make this as game-like as possible, so that when they're put in the game, they're comfortable and they feel like they can execute.
At this point, Mike grabbing the ball out of the huddle last night from the defense, it looked like he tackled Lee today. Seems like he doesn't want the defense celebrating.
No, he's pretty competitive. That's good.
At this point of camp, how much of what the defense is doing is that, how much of what they do well is them knowing a little bit more about the offense, or do you expect that to transfer well into the game?
Look, I think that's always a challenge. When you go against another team, you see formations that are different, splits that are different, you see concepts that are different, and then you quickly have to adjust. Yeah, when you play or work against each other, you get used to the same calls defensively and offensively, or there's certain things that you can sit on. So, you know, you get a new opponent now, and that changes. You're watching film, you're preparing for what you're seeing on tape, and you're doing all your homework to get ready for the team you're playing that week, and that's what we'll be doing.
Sean, to piggyback off the thought of DeMario Davis, he obviously is a great run stuffer, but that play that he had with Alvin Kamara.
I think he's played. Look, in our week and a half or 2 weeks here, I feel like he's done a real good job in the man situations, coverage-wise. You can see him run. He's playing at a linebacker spot where he's going to be in coverage. So that's been encouraging.
That was a big piece of the appeal, I would imagine.
Yeah, listen, absolutely. He can run, and you've seen that. So, hopefully that continues. But he's playing with confidence, and you feel that when you watch him play.
Sean, do you believe in the term gamer? There's some guys you coached over the years that lights came on, could do it, but maybe
look, let's go the other way. There have been some players in years past that, man, they can practice well, and you feel like they're going to perform, and then when the lights come on, for some reason or other, they can't carry it over to the field on game day. So you work with that, and you try to overcome that, and on the other side of it, yeah, I mean, there are players that have that confidence. That confidence comes from, the ability they've demonstrated before, and they see themselves having success. You see it to an extent with a veteran player that may not get the full week of practice in. Maybe he misses on Wednesday, Thursday, but there is a confidence level of achievement and past accomplishments that lead them to be able to perform.
But you have to see it in practice to some degree, right? I mean, you can't have a guy that just does it in the game.
No. I mean, even with we tell the veteran players, the young players, we need to see it, and it's important. The veteran players, we need to see it. Now, not every day, but we need to see that they still have it, and that applies to a lot of the guys that are here fighting for a roster spot. So
much attention goes to the players getting back in a groove with a game week. Coaching wise, does it take a little bit to get back into it?
It's different. I mean, it changes. It changes because it's the first time in your camp where you begin to focus outside your team on another opponent. And we're all routine driven. We're creatures of habit. So, we've been through preseasons many times before, and yeah, I mean, this is the first preseason game, and you understand what you're trying to accomplish in that, and certainly the schedule changes.
What have you seen out of Marcus the last few days? Do you think he has extra fire?
Listen, he played well last year. Obviously, he's a tremendous worker. He's tireless in that area. He's very smart, and he's got extremely good range. So I would say yes to your question, where you've seen him come back in the spring even, and now in training camp, just playing at a real high level, and he's just continuing to get better. He's a great thinker. He's smart. Rarely on the field does he do something that you don't want, and that intelligence, I think, along with his physical skill set, when you combine those two things, those are great traits. Thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
Non-football questions.
God bless you. God bless you.
Shoot, we was just in LA like during SB time, and we linked up, and he said he was shooting a video in New Orleans, so he kind of was like, I should be in it. And that's how that happened.
What do you think about it?
It was cool. It came out pretty dope. I liked it.
How you kind of handling all the other stuff, the hype, all the hype, how you handle it?
It is what it is. It's football time now, so I'm locked back in on the football. All the other, off season is off season. Every there's time for everything. So right now it's football time. I'm locked back in with my team.
I saw you giving Boston Scott some pointers. Is it kind of weird all of a sudden being the veteran guy showing guys?
Yeah. I mean, it is, because I feel I'm still young, but at the same time, I got some experience. So whatever I can do to help, because I remember where I was at last year, and I had Mark to help me, and Adrian and John Kuhn, and so if I can make it like a little bit easier, you know, or give them like a little sense of ease, like, okay, all right, well, I know I'm doing good, but I just got to do this a little bit better than, you know, that's all I'm trying to do.
No, Mark's going to be gone for the first 4 games. What have you kind of seen out of the guys who are kind of competing to fill up, you know, what he's going to be?
I mean, they hungry, you know. I mean, we all know what the situation is, so we got a next man up mentality. You know, everybody's working hard. You know, guys know they got to make plays, so we're gonna do that.
Talking about Boston, do you kind of use the year you had last year, you know, maybe to motivate him, like the bar set high, you got to come out and play?
Yeah, I mean, he knows it. You know, I talk to him all through practice. Like, I'm just telling him, like, you know, you're not the only one going through rookie year. Like, we all went through it. Like, I went through it. You know, Mark went through it. Mark was telling him the other day too. So, you know, it's just a learning process. You got to learn. You got to make mistakes, and you got to grow from them. You know, that's the main thing. You know, try not to make the same mistake twice. But, you know, I try to help him best I can.
Alvin, we know it's all business now, but how much fun is it, I guess, to be you in GQ and video?
To be me. No, I mean, it's cool. You know, I mean, it's just, you know, a lot of blessings, you know, from doing what I did on the field to seeing it, you know, translate into off the field. You know, a lot of fun things and a lot of great opportunities I'm being handed. But, you know, like I said, it's football time now. So, you know, have another great year and see what's going on.
Did you see how this process do you go through to sift through those opportunities? I mean, what do you, I'm assuming you turn some down.
Oh, yeah. I turn a lot down, you know. But, I mean, it's really just, if I don't feel something, then I just don't, you know. I don't care what it is. It's not about the money for me. Like, it's just something, if I'm truly feeling like, if I'm into something or, you know, I truly got like a passion for something, like I do it. If not, then I, you know, kindly, you know, thank you, but no thank you.
Did you see how this coming last year, this time? Did you see all this?
Nah, I ain't Miss Cleo, you know. I was just, you know, working. Like, you know, I think my message was, you know, consistent throughout the year. Like, you know, I'm just working. You know, whatever comes, it comes. So, I mean, like I said, just blessed.
Alvin, I think over the last year, obviously, with people getting to know you, they've, you know, learned your history at Tennessee and misuse, you could put it that way. You obviously talked to guys like Todd Gurley, you know, who signed a new contract, and other running backs out there. How many guys do you feel like that might not have been used as much in college that ends up potentially benefiting them in the NFL just because they have more tread left on the tires, and maybe that could hurt somebody financially if they were given the rock 500 times in their career in college?
That was a long question. I don't know the question. I kind of do though, but you know, I just from my experience, you know, with, like you said, kind of the misuse and the underuse, I guess. I mean, I think it played out for me well. You know, being able to come in and, you know, less tread on the tire, I guess, and be able to come in and have you know, the type of year I had. You know, I mean, it's just, I guess every place is different, you know, as far as utilizing their talent.
You talked to other guys that came into the NFL that feel like they were beat up, I guess, kind of broken a little bit.
Yeah. You know, I mean, you see that sometimes. I mean, guys. I mean, you guys. Everybody, we all watch on Saturdays. We watch, and it's like, man, in college, it's like you out there, you going, you know, and you know, some guys, you know, come in with an injury history and things like that. But you know, it's the job. It's our job description. It's 100% injury rate, so you can't really get away from it.
Alvin, do you think you can handle more touches?
Yep.
When Mark's not out there?
Yeah.
Have you talked to Coach Payton at all about it? I mean, request, hey, I'll every down back. You have not, or you have, or no comment?
I can take more carries, no more touches.
Yeah, because I think you were about 12 to 13 last year.
That's what it was.
Somewhere around there.
All right.
Including your catches, you know.
For sure. So touches or carries?
Touches.
Touches. I'm good. I feel like I can take some more touches.
I mean, I think people are saying, oh, you're more of a satellite back and everything.
Yeah.
You just feel like you're more of a, you can do everything.
Yeah, I feel like I can do everything.
Do you feel an extra sense of responsibility without him out there?
Without Mark out there? I mean, he's just not out there for 4 games, you know. I mean, we just had lunch today and we were talking about, you know, just him being gone for the first 4, and it's like, I mean, we just gotta hold it down, you know. I mean, we're not gonna panic. It's next man up. We got playmakers, so make it happen. And when he get back, then we gonna make it happen some more.
Did you see your bobblehead? What was your impression? Did you see those? The Saints and
the Saints and the Tennessee one.
bobblehead?
Yeah. That's legendary material right there. That's like, well, you know, when you're a kid and you see all those guys with bobbleheads, and then you like, dang, like I want a bobblehead. Like, that's one thing when I was younger growing up, like playing sports, I was like, man, I need a bobblehead. Like, so to see that is kind of cool.
Did it look like you?
I don't know if it looked like me. Yeah, I mean, it had the hair. Look cool.
How would you describe Mike Thomas in practice versus Mike Thomas in the game? It looks like he's out here treating everything.
Oh
like
yeah,
Sunday.
Mike goes full. He treat practice reps like a game rep. Like he treat practice reps like it's a game rep, and he's competing like he playing against another team. You know, so it's good and it's good. You know, but it's sometimes the competition gets heated, but we need that. You know, I mean you guys see him and Marshawn battle every day. He's battling with everybody on defense. It don't matter who it is. You know. And I mean, it's good. Like it trickles down to the rest of the receiving corps. You know, those guys. I mean, even Ted, those guys, they working hard treating every rep like a game rep. And you can't. I mean, we really can't. We can't not treat it like a game rep with Drew at quarterback.
Did he tackle somebody today on one of those picks?
I don't know.
That play that DeMario made, guarding you out of the backfield. I mean.
You should hear me now. It went out during
so he put his foot down and told me what to do. Okay.
Thank
Shoot.
you. J-Mac, thank you, buddy.
Go for it.
All right. Well, I had a quick one actually on Onyemata. Now going this third year. You ever hear him muttering to himself in Nigerian or anything like that? Yes, Matt.
Yeah, you know, it's the accent's still there. Not so much muttering in Nigerian, but he's becoming, I think, the player that a lot of people thought that he was going to be, and it's impressive, to see his development. Especially coming down from Canada and not having a lot of football under his belt. The player that he's got himself, into being is it's impressive, and it's tough to go against. Honestly.
What makes him so tough to go against?
I mean, look at him. He's a big, fast, physical guy that just needs to play as much football as he can. And again, it's a big jump coming into this league, and I think that he has progressed pretty rapidly, and he's becoming a starter.
So what would you say about him makes you feel like, okay, this guy's an established NFL lineman now. This is what I get.
Yeah, it's an awareness thing. I mean, it's really small stuff. I mean, you can be fast, you can be physical, but not knowing where the ball is, as a D lineman, I guess it's half the battle, obviously. But just awareness. I mean, splits, pressure here, quicker reaction time, stuff like that, and at the same time hiding what they do better, and all of those things he's showing pretty rapid improvement in. So,
Max, as a established veteran player, you probably won't play a whole lot Thursday, but what are you hoping to see out of this offense and this team on Thursday?
Yeah, the first preseason game is it's always funny, really this game is just getting at, I mean, I guess you could look at it as an extended practice, but really this is just like an execution of putting it all together, because we practice, first and 10, third down, we'll throw some red zone in there, we'll do some 2-minute, it's all situational stuff, and then eventually you have to put all of that together, and this is kind of that time that we do it, right? So throw everything that we've been doing into one big pile and kind of go out there and be able to execute it just successfully and, run some real base stuff. So,
with your time with Breeze, where do you feel like your rapport is right now, and how much it's grown over y'all's time?
Yeah, this is going into year 4, and anytime you spend, just a lot of time with the same quarterback, stuff feels natural. And the same thing goes with, a starting group on offense. I mean, we can do things that just, we kind of know everybody's on the same page. It may not be said, instead of making calls, you can just, say somebody's name or, do this or that or whatnot. And Drew has that rapport with a lot of players. And it's when you're able to do that, I mean, you're going to have some success on offense. So.
What's it like just kind of going into year 4? I mean, the first year was the trade and last year was the injury. What's it like kind of being an established?
Yeah, I mean, they're flying by. I mean, I had a vet, maybe my second year, say that, the older you get, the quicker the years go, and that is the truth. We're rolling back in here, and this feels like home. I mean, it's very natural coming out here and doing training camp, and that's where you want to be.
How do you see your influence on this line now? I mean, there's a veteran, but second year here. I mean, Ryan's pretty young.
Yeah.
And Zach retired.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know, did that cause you to? I know you're friends with him and stuff.
Yeah.
Did his retirement cause you to reevaluate what your voice should be like in this line or anything like that?
Yeah, yes and no. I mean, Zach's not a guy that you replace. I mean, I think that everybody. I mean, you've spent time with him. You know that he's a pretty unique guy, and so the goal is not to obviously emulate like his personality as much as try to become a player that can fill a void that was left by him, I guess. Leadership, especially at the center position, is something that just happens because you are the communication point between the line, really. And so just kind of playing the position, for a while is kind of not readied me for this, but it's just something that you kind of develop into, right? So.
You guys have so many offensive linemen that can play so many different positions, but behind you, just not much experience depth, I guess. I mean, how much do you spend time with a Cameron Tom or maybe a Levis or something like that?
No, Josh has played quite a few games at center. He's pretty good. I mean, Cam's dealing with a little injury right now, but he'll be coming back. And also Will, who we drafted this year. I mean, all guys with a ton of upside, and it's just a matter of getting some reps for those guys and being able to play multiple positions.
Thanks, Matt.
Oh, cool. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, man.
We got it.
guess you're going against the same defense now for the last, I don't know, 10, 11 practices. Are you ready to kind of see something different in the game time situation?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you see it out there. It's getting competitive. We're always competing, but it's going to be exciting to go against some other guys and take our frustration out on them.
Tom, Sean said it's going to be obviously a pivotal, important preseason game for yourself and Taysom. But I guess how are you approaching things and how are you looking at it?
I'm just treating it like a normal game. That's all I can control. I'm going to go out there and execute my job and do what I can do, and all the other stuff's out of my control.
Is there a difference in playing a preseason game where maybe you don't get to game plan as much and find weaknesses and that kind of thing? It's more just playing. So is there a difference to how you approach it?
Well, I mean, I think obviously if there's not that much game plan, they want to see the reaction. How does this player react, and go out there and because I mean, a lot of times the teams will change up what they do on you, and you got to be able to react and kind of move like that. But yeah, I'm just going to treat it like a normal game. I'm going to prepare and get ready and go have some fun.
Any excitement level for you going into this game? I mean, as you said, you're going to treat it like a regular season game, but I mean, getting the extended reps and getting a chance to get out there and really play.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely excited. I think I know all the other guys are too, and like I said, it's fun going against our own defense, but it's going to be fun going against someone else for a change.
What's been the biggest stride forward you made here in the first couple weeks of practice?
I think just obviously for me right now, it's learning the offense, and as I'm here longer, I'm going to learn more and more and get more comfortable out there, and eventually it's not going to be me thinking about a play after I call it and what is this play. It's going to be, hey, what's this defense? How do I attack it? And go from there.
What have you noticed just from your short amount of time interacting with Mike Thomas here? Is he comparable at all in the way he kind of works at here to a guy like DeAndre Hopkins?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I've been blessed to be around two of the greatest receivers in the league right now, and I mean, you really can't compare two players like that. I think both of them are tremendous people and hard workers, and obviously we're lucky to have Mike here.
Is there a common element to their mindsets that you?
Yeah, I think there's a common element between all great receivers, and they want the ball, and as a quarterback, it's your job to get it to them.
What's been you spent time in Houston, strong defense. Do you see any similarities in this defense you're playing against here and Houston and with the Texans? Or?
Yeah, obviously. I mean, it's like you said, it was a good defense over there, and they have great guys, but these guys fly around here, and it's tough to go against every day, but it's just going to make you better, and I'm definitely excited to be part of this team. That's it.
Thanks, man.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
How much you want to be a holder on field goal unit?
How much I want to be a holder? Certainly any opportunity to get on the field I'm excited about. Will's a good friend, and I'm excited about the opportunity to be out on the field with him at the same time and experiencing, the opportunity to kick a big-time field goal in a big-time game. So I'm excited about that. It's a new thing for me. I've never done it before, but excited for the challenge.
How is the transition going with that?
It's been good. I think, I think historically a lot of backup quarterbacks have held for kickers, and I think it's been a natural transition for me because I'm used to handling the ball every play, and so getting a snap is familiar to me. Obviously, it's a different motion, and the transition's a little bit different, but I would say it's gone pretty smoothly.
How much more excited are you looking to get on the field as a quarterback for this game?
Oh yeah, I'm fired up about it. Again, we've talked about this several times, that this has really been my first opportunity to play quarterback in this offense, and next week Thursday will be my first opportunity to play quarterback in this system. Fired up about that. Excited for the opportunity and the challenge.
Taysom, I find on Twitter, whenever I post something about you, the Brigham Young people, it's a whole new level I've never seen on social media. They are all in on Taysom Hill. Can you just talk about how do you feel the same? Do you get a lot of that same thing that I noticed
Certainly.
from the Brigham Young faithful?
Certainly, we've BYU's got the best fans in the world. And the nice thing about BYU is it takes in a wide area. So there'd be times where we'd travel, we'd be on the road, and we'd have more fans than the home team that we're playing. So a lot of really loyal fans. I felt a lot of love through playing at BYU, and had a lot of ups and downs through my career at BYU through different injuries and stuff. And the fan base has always been right there to pick me up and support me through all those injuries.
What did you learn about playing in the preseason from your time with Green Bay last year?
Yeah, I think getting used to and acclimated to the speed of the game and the timing and all of that is big. And I would say that was really important for me in Green Bay. I didn't get a ton of reps in Green Bay, so I look at this preseason again as another unique and great opportunity for me to get some game time experience in the NFL at quarterback, and excited about that. But I'll prepare as if we're going into a big time game, and do my best to move the ball up and down the field.
Is there anything different or challenging about going in for 3 or 4 drives as opposed to being able to take a whole game the way a quarterback would in the regular season?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's natural for you as a quarterback, knowing that your time's going to be limited, and knowing you're trying to put a good display out there. I think it's normal to feel like you need to press, try to make all the big plays, all the big throws, and the challenge is to try to get rid of that mentality, go through your reads, make the right throws when they're there, and check it down if you need to.
Do you think that the whole trying not to press and just trying to do your job, the fact that it is a preseason game, it makes it a little harder just because your adrenaline's flowing, you've got other guys with different colored jerseys going against
For sure. And again, I think there's this fine line, where you want to give other guys opportunities to make plays, and you want to, put balls up there in one-on-one situations so guys can go up and make plays and get film out there as well. I think we'll find a good balance there. But I think as I look at it, the biggest thing for me is to operate inside the offense and do that as efficiently as possible. This offense is built to take shots, and so take the shots when they're there. And I think we always talk that if we do call something for down the field and it's not there, and you check it down and you get 5-6 yards, that's a positive play, and we'll continue to call those, and if that's what we're doing when we call them. So I think it's having that mentality, take your shots and your opportunities when you have the chance, and play smart football other than that.
Are you looking forward to facing a different defense, not one that's kind of seen you guys every single day now?
For sure. This is the time in camp where, everyone knows everyone's calls, and, there's a lot of talking going back and forth, and I think everyone's excited to get out on the field, and everyone's worked hard. I think it's exciting for a lot of the vets to be able to support the young players in the system, knowing that they'll get an opportunity to go out and play. And I think it's a great team bonding, building exercise to go out and play in these preseason games. And I'm excited to get the opportunity to play, but I'm also excited to watch my teammates go out and play.
You run any special teams in the preseason game?
Yeah, we're still working all that out. I haven't had any conversations with any coaches, offensive or special teams coaches, to kind of see what the plan is, but I anticipate doing a little bit.
Excited to finally get to go full speed in one of those drills, if they put you out there.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's I'll be ready with what it is, whatever it is. We'll have those conversations, but certainly excited to get out and run around and make some plays.
Thanks, John.
Thanks.